So in this video, we're going to be talking about Venn diagrams, and we're going to build this up slowly. So don't start writing anything down yet. Wait until I've sort of finished it up. All right, so to talk about Venn diagrams, we're going to talk about a standard classroom. I'm going to draw my classroom. All right, so here's my classroom. I'm going to put all of my people in there. Now, I can put them in as dots, so I'll have like 24 dots in there, but I'm just going to write the number 24 instead. All right, so in mathematical terms, we call this box and the number of things in the box the universal set. So the universal set, we use this weird symbol to denote it, and it's just all the elements we are considering, all the people in this room for this example. Now we're going to ask all the students in this room a question. Do you have a pet? And it turns out that 15 of the students have a pet. So we can create a set of students who have a pet. So here's our set of students who have a pet. We have 15 students who have a pet. I've used the letter A for animal. So that means that there's 9 students who don't have a pet. All right, so let's just write a few more things down. So I probably just need to say that a set is a collection of elements. In this case, the elements are the people. This is our collection of people that have an animal. So now I'm going to ask them another question. Actually, I'm going to ask them 2 questions. I'm going to write them down. So here are the 2 questions. Do you have a brother, and do you have a pet and a brother? All right, so do you have a brother? 12 people in the class put their hand up and say, yes, I have a brother. Do you have a pet and a brother? 5 people in the class said they had both of those things. So now what I can do is create a second set, a set B for brother. All right, so now that I've got my second set, I'm going to get rid of this number 9 because some of those 9 students are going to belong in this circle. All right. So let's start with the second question first. Do you have a pet and a brother? 5 people said that. All right, so that 5, that must be here. A pet and a brother. It's the overlap between the 2. But wait a minute. I've got the number 15 here. 15 was the whole circle. So now I need to get rid of that 15 there because I've taken 5 from there and I need to have 10 there now. 10 here, 5 here. Now it says 12 have a brother, 12 altogether, but 5 are in the both category, which means that 12 minus 5 must be in the category that have a brother but don't have a pet. 7. All right, remember we started with 24 people in the class. 10 plus 5 plus 7 is 22, which means that there must be 2 people out here. And now we can talk about each of these types of people. There are 4 different types of people in the class. 5 people have an animal and a brother. 10 people have only an animal, no brother. 7 people have a brother but no animal. And 2 people have neither an animal nor a brother. Now, I've said that in using words, but we can actually use some symbols and some notation to talk about those kinds of things. So the first word is intersection. Now, we use an upside down U to represent the word intersection, and intersection just means and. So this is the intersection, the bit where the 2 circles intersect. It's the people who have an animal and a brother. Animal and a brother, 5. Now we can write that in the following way. The number of elements that are in set A and B is equal to 5. Simple. The next important word is union, which we represent with a U, but the right way up. U for union. Now, this means or. All right, so how many people have an animal or a brother? Okay, these people have an animal or a brother. They have an animal. These people have an animal or a brother. In fact, they have both. They have an animal and a brother. So they definitely have an animal or a brother. And these people have an animal or a brother. They have a brother. So altogether, we have 22 people. Everything inside these 2 circles is the or bit here. And we can write that in the following way. The number of elements in A or B is equal to 22. So the last one we have is complement, which means the word not. And we just use a little apostrophe to account for complement, not. So how many people do not have an animal? Well, these people have an animal. These people have an animal. They have an animal and a brother. So the number of people who do not have an animal are these people and these people. There are 9 people who do not have an animal. And this is how we would write that. The number of elements in our set that do not or are not in set A, do not have an animal, is equal to 9. So now that we've done all of that language, I just want to add a picture to each of these. An intersection represents the bit where the two circles meet. A union represents all of the two circles combined, including that middle section there. And the complement of this set represents anything that is not in that set. So be careful, that is this other circle, it's everything outside of both circles, but it's definitely not this middle section because that middle section is in that set right there. Nice little pictures. So that's as far as I want to go with Venn diagrams in this video. In the next video, we're going to use this same diagram to do some probabilities. Calculate the probability that someone has an animal in this class, or someone has an animal or a brother in this class. A whole bunch of different probabilities. We'll also look at some other work examples as well.